Greetings, everyone. Prepare yourself for a simple and nice class. Be present. Just be there. Focus on your breath. Focus on yourself. Just be there. Be present. We practice Anashrita about letting go of projection, drama. We spoke of Apya, to be harmonious in our interactions. Avyaja, simplicity. Santusta, now Upasthiti. The Siddhi of this week is Upasthiti. Someone will write it soon. Upasthiti. Upasthiti. Last week with Santusta, we were satisfied. Contemplate the feeling of being satisfied of simplicity, basically. Satisfied of just being satisfied. Kind of seeing the positive. Upasthiti is presence. We practice quite a few siddhis lately that cultivate attitude, certain attitudes towards life. So it's nice to clump them together and just cultivate a good attitude. Upasthiti is presence. So you focus on the abdomen. Just the abdomen. Not a chakra, not a specific point, just you here. So don't focus on the head. We have a lot of activity in the head already. So it's good to just focus on us down here, the abdomen. It's not about the physical abdomen, the intestine, or any physical constitution. It's just to be here. It's to be here. Okay? Presence. This Siddhi, Upasthiti, is simple. Upasthiti is simple in the sense that it's not a very complicated state of being, is presence. Now, that feeling of presence, that simple state of being here, that is hard to explain. It's presence is something that you have lived and you can understand and modulate, like produce by wanting it. Or it's something that will be mysterious, so in your head you'll say, yeah, okay, I'm here. But the idea is to sink into the feeling of presence. There's something here. There's something there, here where I am. And that's me. Okay, presence. So it's not just an intellectual contemplation of locality, like I'm here. It's a feeling of presence. It fills you. Okay. I'll take an example. If you are used or were used in the past of being in a place with a lot of people, and then you find yourself alone a lot. Like for me was living with my children and now I don't live with my children anymore, I used to feel something there, presence. And now the children are not there. So I felt not something missing, but something unusual, something not there. So presence is that feeling when there's something there, but it's just me. It's not complicated. Okay. The Siddhi is Upasthiti. Upasthiti. And it's more than an intellectual concept of being here. It's a feeling. I am present. So we just practice Upasthiti, presence. We're just here. The more spiritual experience we have, the more the feeling of presence exists. It's not just a contemplation, it becomes a felt experience, presence. You fill yourself with your consciousness, and you're not stuck in a visualization about it, you're really feeling it. That feeling takes time, personal growth. That's the there-ness, that's the presence. Okay, to feel. So Upasthiti will help you feel that. A bit of technicalities. The word Upasthiti has like 20 meanings, one of which is presence. And there's about 20 different words in Sanskrit that can mean presence. Okay, so let's just go simple on Upasthiti and not dwell on the other. Upasthiti in certain contexts is if there's something. Okay, so a condiment on a hamburger. Okay, the condiment is Upasthiti. Okay, it's something you put over your hamburger. Okay, something there. Without that condiment, it's not there. Okay. Upasthiti can also be if the doctor is inside the clinic. The doctor will be there. Okay, the doctor will Upasthiti from this to that time on Monday to Friday, whatever. Okay, so the presence of something inside. Okay, that's Upasthiti. Well, if using a phrase, Upasthiti can be used in so many ways in Sanskrit. Okay, when it is alone, it is that thing is present, and that thing in this case is us. It's ourself. Upasthiti. Yeah. So we contemplate the Siddhi Upasthiti. 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 Presence. The linguistic of it can seem complicated, but we don't really care about that. Upasthiti is presence. It's so simple that it's hard to give more examples. Don't just stay in your head about it, also be in the body. Feel it. Presence. You don't want to transmigrate with great power in your body. You're just present. And presence will fill you on its own terms, in its own time. You don't put an effort, just contemplate the Siddhi word, Upasthiti. And you breathe and you are here. There's presence. Okay, so I often said today, you are here, or it is there. That is not Upasthiti. Upasthiti is the presence feeling. So it's important to focus on that feeling of just being present. What is difficult on the mind of practicing this is that it's not necessarily entertaining. It's to contemplate the feeling of presence. It's obviously you that we're talking about at first. Like any Siddhi, eventually will transcend you. It will be the presence of everything. But you first start with yourself. Upasthiti. You contemplate yourself. You. Present. And your gaze or your focus is on the abdomen in general. Your abdomen in general. Just the abdomen. Upasthiti. Presence. Your mind could want to wander. It's okay. If you see that your mind is wandering, don't get angry. Don't freak out. Just go back to simply being present. The more you feel the presence, the less your mind will wander away. But it's not wrong if your mind composes stuff. It's built for that. Okay? If you realize you're following a fantasy when you're meditating, don't get angry. It's what the mind does. Just realize it and come back to yourself. And do the practice. Okay? The Siddhi this week is Upasthiti. Presence. The feeling of presence. You are there. It's a very simple practice. After these last few weeks, Anashrita, to stop the drama, to stop projecting outside in the drama, let things go. We had Dayu? Apya, about relationships, be harmonious. Then Avyaja, simplicity. Santusta, to be satisfied. We practice Upasthiti, presence. It's almost an empty practice because there's not much technicality about it. It's just presence. Upasthiti. It's just to be there. Presence. Upasthiti. This Siddhi is a practice of patience. To just be there. There's no artificial. There's no colors and rainbows. There's no visualization. There's no complication. Upasthiti. Presence. Upasthiti. Presence. A Siddhi practice is not meant to be entertaining. But sometimes it is. The new discoveries, the new realizations, it's so interesting. Personally, I find that Upasthiti does not bring the entertaining revelations. It could be cool to realize how soft but present you can be. But you'll want to practice this until it's not entertaining anymore. The true experience of presence is when there's just peace. Presence is felt. Upasthiti. I'm here and I feel here. It's feeling presence as opposed to emptiness. I spoke of hormones lately, dopamine and serotonin. The practice of Upasthiti brings peace, a soft peace, and you feel there. Now, if you have a rush of ecstasy in your practice of presence, don't repress it, but don't look for it. Upasthiti is peaceful. It is patience. And your dopamine will calm. Your serotonin will balance. Just a side effect. That's not the goal of the Siddhi at all. It's just a side effect. So you're just focusing on being present with the Siddhi Upasthiti. Just repeat the word. This is how we practice the Siddhi. Just repeat the word in your mind. Upasthiti. 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 And you breathe and you feel it. And you are present. You feel the presence. Over time and practice, the presence won't be only yours. It will be the presence of everything. And it won't be your head identifying everything. Oh yeah, everything is here, everything is there. No, it's just presence. It is a soothing practice. It is incarnating. It will make you transcend. It'll make you, I'm here. No, I'm not. It's okay. Don't fight transcendence. Upasthiti is presence. It's simple. Like I said, it's hard to explain what is presence. It's a feeling you have when you've experienced it often enough. And if you don't have enough experience to understand it, doesn't matter. Practice Upasthiti, presence. I am present. It is a feeling. And don't let your head get stuck in concepts. Keep it simple. Just present. It's not outside. But if presence is felt outside in everything, well, then it is. But it's presence. Your focus is not outside. It's just here. And it will eventually reveal just the presence of everything. Just keep focusing on you. Simple. Upasthiti. Very simple practice. You see, drama will pull us out of here. Will remove the feeling of presence. Drama is pulling outside. So what we did a few weeks back, Anashrita, let this drama go. Okay? It helps us come inside. We've done Avyaja to be simple, Santusta to be satisfied, just to come back more and more into this simple state of being. Upasthiti, presence. Upasthiti. Take a deep breath, relax, just be present. Longer practices of Upasthiti will train you in just being. If this practice is not accompanied by the feeling in the abdomen, of course, you'll tend to be more in your head, and your head will compose fantasies because that's what it does. So focusing on the feeling present, I am the presence. I'm the feeling of that presence. I'm the presence. And we try not to complicate ourselves with I am the higher me, the super ego, the hyper consciousness, the highest divinity. Nah, this is New Age stuff that keeps you in your mind. I am the presence. Upasthiti. And you are present. The simpler it is, the better it is. It is felt. It is felt more than imagined. It is felt. The presence. Upasthiti. And from there, you just keep going. By practicing Upasthiti, it is possible that will rise in your life whatever tries to pull you back into drama or disturb the harmony with your relationship or complicate things or keep you unsatisfied. Okay? Which is the 4 last siddhis we've done. The more you practice Upasthiti, it is possible that whatever prevents the simple satisfaction of being here, whatever prevents that might rise. Might. Doesn't mean it will. Maybe you're just going to have a simple and satisfied presence in harmony with everything else that is simply present, free of artificial and drama. It is as simple as that. The presence, feel it. Upasthiti. All right. It's all we had this week. I've stretched this class more than I could, than I imagined I could, because there's nothing to say. It's just be present. Then we can talk about what prevents it. Then we've got weeks of work, but it's just a practice. It's simple. Could even the practice of Upasthiti will feel boring until you realize that boredom is peace. Just keep up the good work, right? Upasthiti. And maybe review the last few weeks if you want to complicate things and see all the dynamics of these 5 last weeks, including this one. You can do that. Or you could just be here, present. Peace.